right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here, bringing you some honest astrology about this Sunday, September 21st. We've got an eclipse, a South Node New Moon eclipse happening at about 4 p.m., 3:54 Eastern Standard Time. The sun and the moon are both going to be in Virgo. Right at 29 degrees, the South Node is 17 degrees of Virgo, so they're just on the other side. They're about 12 degrees apart, just under 12 degrees apart. And there's a lot about letting go. There's a lot about letting go in our Virgo brains. Virgo is our left brain, Pisces is our right brain. We have a lot of energy in our analytical minds right now. Let me show you the chart. There we go. So the sun, the moon, 29 degrees, meaning they're both just about to go into Libra. But it's not Libra. This is still Virgo. This is still letting us know this is like the last corners of our minds that things need to create change. We need to create change. We've got Venus, what you love, want, and desire in Virgo, saying be specific about what you love, want, and desire. There's two sides to every coin, and we're going to talk about Virgo Venus here in a little bit. Being very specific about what you love, want, and desire. A feather in the wind is going to lack direction. And if you're too focused on the exact thing that you want, that's saying this and nothing else but this, we can kind of pass up beautiful opportunities in life. So there's a balance there. South Node here in Virgo is saying a little less analytical, a little less in the best of ways, because I'm a fan of critical thinking. I'm a huge fan of discernment, as we all need to be discerning individuals and not just blindly believe and have faith in something that anybody tells us on the streets. It's part of the beauty of Pluto in Aquarius and us being in this new age of Aquarius, dawning this new age of Aquarius, is we're allowing ourselves to have this discernment, and we're allowing the technology, the knowledge that's shared by other individuals in the community to have an impression on us and transform the knowledge that we previously had. Just like for a moment, think back, like how, for a band to get their music out there, they'd have to put flyers on all the telephone poles, or they'd have to leave cassette tapes everywhere, just handing them out on street corners. Now it's like you can upload a song to the internet, and with proper marketing, you can get that out pretty quick to a lot more people right now, to where you had a limited local. Now you have this World Wide Web at your fingertips. So it's what's happening technologically at large is a lot easier to get this information out there and connect with other people. So if we have an idea that's being challenged, which is going to happen, third house, Gemini, Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener, the great shakener. And it's creating, if you look here, we've got three grand trines happening. All right, so we have Pluto in Aquarius, air sign, to Uranus and Gemini. Now this is transformation in the community and technology and knowledge, understanding, breakthroughs in information in Gemini, creating a trine to Mercury up here in Libra, balanced relationship with others. And it's also creating a trine, because these are both at 1 degrees and the sun and the moon are at 29 degrees of Virgo. This is a very interesting grand trine, because this point of the grand trine isn't in air energy, it's actually in earth energy. So this is about thinking. This is about knowledge, information, community. Air is the fastest moving out of all the elements. Air is the fastest. Why it's right now. It's why we're live on air, right? It's radio broadcast, television broadcast, through the internet, through the airwaves. Air is very fast. Earth is our slowest moving. Okay, so it takes a lot more energy to affect the mountain than it does for, or the earthquake or something like that. This earth energy takes a lot longer. So the air energy is information that's coming to us in this very fast breakthrough kind of a way, that's allowing deep-rooted analytical aspects to ourselves to fall away and break away, like chiseling away, to Mount Rushmore, or a sculpture of taking form from a block of marble into this beautiful thing. So there's elements of ourselves that we have to let go of. And because we're talking about the way we think, I had a beautiful conversation with a friend this morning saying how they have to take down this wall of forgiveness, or there's just this giant wall of forgiveness that they have to climb over. And, listen to what my friend is sharing. And then I offer back, it's like, you're creating the wall as well. There might be an area of self that you need to forgive yourself for, but we're also creating our own obstacles in our minds of why I'm not there yet, why I haven't achieved this yet, why I don't have forgiveness in my heart or in my mind, why I don't love myself enough, why I don't appreciate what my offerings are, because a lot of this has to do with offerings and how we're giving back and being of service to people. That's what Virgo is all about, right? The nurses and people that are giving back, and our flowers that bloomed that have to wilt away, our branches that grew that have to sever the branch to benefit the tree itself. This is what we talked about at the full moon eclipse video. And it's like, raising a child, and we have to give up part of our single life when we have a child now, or when now the child is grown and past 18 and they're going off to college, and there's a letting go, or now the child is in a beautiful relationship, and maybe you're the mother, and now there's a new woman in your son's life, and this new woman is filling the void that you once filled in your boy. It's like, so there's letting go. There's considerate killing aspects of ourselves, letting these things go to welcome the new. And new moons are new beginnings, new change is coming through. So it's like, if we're stuck in our brains about a certain way of, this is how things have to be until I get to the next plateau, that's also in our minds. We're setting our own scales for failure or success, and it's like, there is no wall. There's no wall that I have to climb over for this forgiveness. There's just the forgiveness. And I'm creating this to keep myself in the same. And I give reason, because I haven't healed this wall yet, is the reason why I continuously am how I am. And then we create a pattern, a behavior, personality trait out of it. As part of giving our services and giving back to the community and being with people, and there's a lot in our charts right now. Mars and Libra, all this beautiful air energy is communicating. We have the next 11 months of really connecting with other people, connecting with our tribe, the people that really are going to help all of us, like yourselves, everybody grow, right? So we have the next 11 months of kind of connecting with the other right now. Part of that is not seeing, right? Saturn here in Pisces, Neptune in Aries, both of these together are an accumulation of manifest your dreams, hold it in your mind, run the race in your mind, and the fast twitch muscle fibers of your body are going to act like you're really running the race. Hold in your mind the love that you want, hold in your mind the career that you want, the thing that you want to do. And it doesn't always mean money. It means this is what you want to do as a passion. This is what you love to do. Money can come out of that. There's other aspects of the community that come out of that, but we're not talking about career. This isn't necessarily going to be your end all be all job, and that's okay. You love to do this. So it's like creating these, I mean, this could be about your career, we're going there. But staying focused on that of what you love, want, desire, and trying to create and manifest it to the world at large. And I always try to meditate before I come and do these videos. It's like, it's going to tell me something, but then there's an analogy or something that comes through. And I remember Quentin Tarantino talking about, he had a film, this script that he wrote, and he brought it to, he's already got a bit of a reputation at this point, so there's that. But he brought his script to the first production company, the first meeting, first interview. And they said, wow, that's a great script. Well, we'd like to change this, this, and this. And he says, no, thanks. I'm good. And I'm going to bring it to the next. And the next says, okay, I like that, and we're going to offer you this much money, and then we're going to change this. And he says, no, this is how much it's going to cost to make the film. And this is what it's going to be. And we're not changing these elements of it, right? Now, there's a fair aspect to being firm in what we want and what we're trying to create. And there's an interesting aspect of other people slightly shifting and molding the thing. And this is for our own discernment. And this is something that each individual has to figure out as they're navigating their path. That's the beauty of astrology, is this is leading us back to ourselves. It's don't listen to every word Aaron has to say and live your life based on every word I'm saying. It's helping us understand these elements, these aspects, these planetary alignments to be used for a guide for ourselves, right? So listen to yourself for your own discernment of what we're letting go of and what we're holding on to firm. And it's like, no, I'm not going to let these certain aspects go. This is the film that I want to make. This is I've got to find the right people for this script. Okay. I think that's the most important part, because we're still working with the other people. And it's like, yes, finally, after they want to change this and this group wanted to change this, finally he finds the right group of people that says, yes, Quentin, we would love to make your film. Let's make your film, right? And we can be discouraged at times, and there's a lot of these little quincunxes. Okay, these are 5/12 aspects. We call it the astrological blind spot, where it's not a square, it's not here, it's not an opposition here right in front of my face where I can see it. It's here, and no matter where I turn, I can't view the thing. So it's like it's an annoying presence that I can feel, but I can't quite identify. So it's like we have this motivational Mars going through. And it's just like we have all these beautiful things that we love, want, and desire that we're trying to create in the world. We're trying to manifest the things that we want to give back to society, back to humanity. And we're trying to find the right people. And we don't quite see that the actions we're taking are putting us toward those areas of manifestation. Now back to the Quentin Tarantino story. If he would have been discouraged and like, oh man, that wasn't the right one, they don't want the film, they want to change this. No, he had this, he gathered enough fire from the Leo season, is making it way through his Virgo, of confidence in what he had and knowing the goods that he brought to the table. And it's like knowing yourself, and that's by part of like, a daily practice, meditation, yoga, breath work, something like this, sound baths, listening to something, is helpful, because the better that we know ourselves, the better that we're connecting with ourselves, know who we are, what we have, what we're offering back to the world, we can come with a confidence and a no compromise. Now, again, there's weird opposites with this. And I'm a Virgo rising, Capricorn sun, thank God for my Cancer moon, but there's like precision in detail things that I adore. Like, I think, when you find an artist that's like very fine detail of something, it can even be abstract, but it just like the fine details or woodworking or the building of something, like there's something to me that's like, wow, this artist curated and took the time to make this beautiful masterpiece and perfected lines and all of these things. There's some people like the Jackson Pollock. There's some people that are just messy. There's some people that are more all over the place. When you get these two individuals, this is what's happening astrologically right now. When you get these two polarities together, they are essentially one and the same and can drive each other absolutely mad, because the loosey-goosey energy finds this particular energy to be too uptight, woven, too stuck in a way, fundamentally rigid. Okay, and it wants expansion. It wants expansion beyond rigidity. You only know the curves of the thing that you've been doing and perfecting precisely for so long. So they think this energy wants, more curve lines, more flow. It's like you've never seen a perfect tree. It doesn't every tree is perfect, but it flows in its own weird way, its own beautiful way to get its light from the sun. And each of these trees, they don't try to overshadow one another. They grow and try to give each other enough space. The canopy is like very beautiful. So when you have a very precise individual coming with very precise things to individuals, or an energy that's so loosey-goosey, it can say, oh, my tightness, my appreciation for these tight things isn't valued. So now I'm almost being forced to loosen up with, They play and they work with each other. Okay. There's a funny balance happening here. That's like, don't necessarily give up the tight things we can expand and contrast, right? We can take a break and go on a walk to see something different and be inspired, and bring our skills, our finite skills, back to this and perfect it and do our own thing with it. You know, it's like there's a balance of being loose and being tight right now, and it's just up to us to figure out our own tight roping skills and balance these elements of life, because neither is going away. Things won't always be calm. Things won't always be exciting. Things won't always be boring and nothing to do. Things won't always be high-end energy and chaos and drama. You know, it's just like life ebbs and flows. And it's us just understanding these balance of ebbs and flows and this Pisces Virgo season, and changing our minds, allowing us to see that the obstacle might not quite be there. And we have, again, these two isosceles triangles happening. The other one is still in water. Water Jupiter, water Black Moon Lilith, water North Node in Pisces. And this is like having trust and faith that every little step that we're doing, that every little thing that we are, every meeting that we're going to that's a turn down, every individual that we meet, that rejection is a redirection. It's a truly redirection. And we're going to meet the right people in society and community that have similar shared values and interests, that are just, we're going to be able to work together with. And it's like really important to see at 29 degrees the sun and the moon, 29 degrees Mars, how quickly the energy is going to shift from this week, from Sunday to Monday. Mars is going to shift into Scorpio, where it's passionate, it's home, it has, it wants to swim through this water opposed to the air sign. It's going to have great great energy here. It's a beautiful place for Mars to be home at. Mercury fastly coming through the air sign is going to be wonderful. The sun and the moon both simultaneously coming into the air sign and having our going over the equator, passing over the equator. So this is like a beautiful equinox. A great changing of things happening. And what happens here when the sun and the moon enter Libra? This is the shedding of the skin. This is where we let go of the branch. This is what I was talking about last, it's like all of these things that have accumulated over the past 2 weeks to bring us to this, like, I know what I need to let go of. I know that I love this. I know that I love and value you, or, our relationship from growing up, or from, child to adult, and having to have a new relationship or a new way of looking at things, and respectfully letting go of things, or moving, whatever it may be in your personal lives. You get it. There's a huge change, and this axis, of course, deals, lastly, we'll talk about, with addictions. So if you're trying to get over addictions, or something's happening, if life seems too difficult, remember that you have friends, you have community that you can rely on. There's other people that are going through similar things. There's other people that have gone through similar things. We don't have to box them out. We don't have to triangle them out and say, I'm alone in this race, I'm alone in life, and nobody else thinks like me. I'm alone in this love, I'm alone in these feelings, nobody else feels like I do. Communication is our friend. Our breath is our friend. Come back to our breath, come back to communication. If there's stale, stagnant communication, we get so hung up, and we get on a circle of things. I feel like I want to make a whole other video about this, but like, we can't reach out, we can't say something because of how it's going to be, in these psychological games that we play with ourselves. And it's just important to reach out. Like, if there's uncertainty, if there's stagnant energy, and you don't know what grows under things that don't move. So it's like, move the air and have the conversation, reach out to that friend to try to shine some light on any sort of uncertainties, using our linguistic skills, and to have discernment over the people that we do care about, and not just let those relationships dwindle for miscommunication or misunderstandings. It's a huge one. So friends, have each other's backs. Whatever you're letting go of, whatever you're shedding in your life right now, it's okay. This is all a part of the process. It's a part of the great undoing and the great unfolding, and not rejection, but redirection, and to ultimately finding and connecting with the people and things that you love to do, and that feed your soul and feed your heart. So this is good energy. I love you. I wish you enough. Happy eclipsing.